Hello! If you hear any shit in the background, that's because I'm recording this, well, not in a recording studio. Anyways, so I decided that I'm going to start making podcasts. And this is my first one. And today, well, first I'm going to give you my channel name, which is DBP, Dumb Bitch Podcast, because I'm a dumb bitch. And today I'm going to rant. And let me just say, before you leave after I say this, that you should stay. 'Cause this is gonna be pretty fucking funny. Today, I'm going to talk about a very old book from the 19,000s. From the 1900s. And this book is called A Rose in Winter by Kathleen Woodiwiss. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce her last name, but I will put the name of the book in the description of this video. And now, let me start. So, this book is about a girl named Eirene. And Eirene has a father. An asshole of a father who is also the mayor of the town she lives in. Now, Irene's mother had just died whenever this book is. And basically, she just, Eirene really never says anything about her mom in the entire book. But her father, of course, is very sad about this. But he's also become very poor because now he is in debt to this man, this very hot man, may I add, named Christopher. And the thing is that Christopher and the father actually had a poker match so that the father could pay back his debt in the poker match. But he ended up doubling his debt. And then Christopher accused the father of cheating, so the father's son, Farrell, or however the hell you pronounce his name, these olden ass names, is very mad about that. Oh, you're calling my father a cheater? The hell? Well, he is a cheater, so... Oh, no. But yeah, so, Christopher, he's just minding his own business when Farrell challenges him to a duel. And I don't mean no fake ass swords, I mean real ass guns in the middle of the street, turn around, walk 6 paces, and then shoot a nigga in the head. And, well, he don't kill Christopher. Christopher don't kill Farrell. But Christopher does shoot Farrell in the arm. And now Farrell is disabled. So, the father is mad at him, the son is mad at him, and one day, Christopher is going to Irene's house. And by Irene's house, I of course mean the father's house, because they all live there, the father, the sister, and the brother. But she is 18, she is of age. And may I add that the father is trying to sell Eirene to any old rich man who will have her so that when they sell her off, they could pay their debts and hopefully just become rich in the process. But of course, it doesn't turn out that way. Christopher goes to the house. Eirene is in the house. Eirene does not know that Christopher is, Christopher. She thinks that he's one of her many suitors that her father keeps setting her up with on these dates. And of course, she's thinking, oh my gosh, finally, a hot guy. My father actually knows what I like. Finally. But yes, So, they're just looking in each other's eyes, la 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 la. And then she trips on the stairs and Christopher catches her and somehow they end up hugging. And while they are hugging, they are looking at each other in the eyes. She's thinking, oh, are we about to kiss? And then bam, her father comes in. The father sees Christopher, the guy who shot her brother in the arm, and the sister canoodling. Of course, he starts yelling, being the asshole he is. He's like, you wench, you witch. Oh, you don't care about your family. Yeah, la, 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 la. But yeah, so Irene's like, what? Oh my gosh, this is the guy who shot my brother? No, I didn't know. I'm sorry, father. If that was me, I would have been like, oh, he is? Well, shit. Yo, I mean, you did my brother wrong, but couldn't even shot my father. Come on now. You don't see how he treated me? But anyways, yes. So, Eirene then pushes Christopher down the stairs, and Christopher's like, anyways, I just came here to collect my debt. Do you have the money? And the dad, of course, replies with, no, I'm working to get the money by selling Eirene off. And Christopher responds with, oh, well then, you could just sell her to me, and I'll pay you the money. So the dad is wondering what he means by sell her to him. And he responds with, well, I would not marry her, but I'd have sex with her. So it'd be a win-win. She wouldn't even have to get married. Eirene was so mad about that. And that's how their feud actually started. But the thing is that on the back of this book, there is the name Mr. Saxton. And Christopher's name is Mr. Satin, which apparently there's a difference. So, it's not him. He's not the main guy. And let me tell you, I did not look at the back of this book until Mr. Saxton came into the playing field. So let me tell you how Mr. Saxton ended up in this story. Well, to tell you that, I have to say that Irene's father offered her off on an auction because she kept saying that, no, I'm not going to marry him. I'm not going to marry him. And he's like, okay, fine. Then I'm just going to see whoever bids for you the most, and then I'm going to give you to him. And she, of course, doesn't want this. So before the auction, she runs away. But the thing is that a pack of wolves attacks her and her horse, and then she hits her head on a rock. So this man saves her. And, of course, I'm thinking, oh, a guy saving her and bringing her back to his chambers. It must be Christopher, right? No, it's not Christopher. It's Mr. Saxton. Who the hell is Mr. Saxton? Me and my dumbass was thinking, oh, is Mr. Saxton and Christopher the same person? Because I don't really pay attention to names. So I went back to the beginning of the book where Christopher is mentioned. Well, he's mentioned all the way through the book, but whatever. So I go to where Christopher is mentioned, and his last name is Satin. I'm like, no. That's when I checked the back of the book, and it's fucking Mr. Saxton. Oh, what the fuck? So, I'm very sad because I'm already attached to Christopher. He's so hot. Well, according to this book, and according to my imagination, he looks like Thor and Harry Potter mashed together, which is basically Harry Potter with abs and a hotter face and blonde hair. Oh my god. Yeah. But anyways, yes. What was I talking about again? Christopher. Right. So, Mr. Saxton saves Eirene. Of course, she doesn't know that yet. until she's in the bed, and Mr. Saxton's maid actually comes to her and says, "Oh, you're up. You've been unconscious for 3 days. 3 days. 3 days," says Eirene. She is very scared. First of all, her clothes are changed. And all the blood that was on her head from the concussion, it's all gone. And she finds out that this entire time she was in this room with a random man. And may I add that according to this book, Eirene has, let me pull out the book and read from one of the many places they talk about it. Right here. The ripeness of her breasts. Maybe another part. The fullness of her breasts. One more. Her breasts were ripe for the picking. Okay. I think you get what I'm getting at. Every time Eirene is with any of these guys, Mr. Saxton or Christopher, they're always talking about the ripeness of her breasts. What's a ripe breast? He said he want to go apple picking today. So he went to the mall. And he said, them apples look ripe for the picking. Like, no. If anything, boobs are pears, okay? With the nipples and shit. Nah, they're not. Oh, well, I mean, the stems of the apples could be pears. Could be nipples, I guess. But them some indented nipples. Like, anyways, yes. So, what I'm trying to say is she's very beautiful, apparently. And Mr. Saxton, of course, if he's there with her, she's thinking, oh, well, shit, was something done to me while I was asleep? Shit, I'd be thinking that too. Especially her day and age. I bet people getting molested each and every way she go. I bet she can't even cross the street without someone saying something like, oh, I see your ripeness today, Miss Eirene. I mean, her father's the mayor. Maybe that earns her some points, but I doubt it. But back to the point. So, Mr. Saxton is not there, according to the maid. And she's like, okay, well, what's happening here? And the maid's like, well, my master told me to send you to your father. And she's like, no, not my father. The fuck? Why would he send me back there? Doesn't he know about the auction? But why would he send me back? And the maid's like, bitch, psh, I don't give a fuck. My commander-in-chief told me that you need to go to your dad. And I don't care what he doing to you. That's where you are going, okay? Okay? And Irene's just like, no, don't make me go back. But of course she ends up going back after a bath and shit. And when she goes back, the dad's like, huh? You're back? Are you dumb? Why are you back here? Oh, well, come, the auction's about to start. And that's basically how she ends up at the auction. So she's at the auction. Everyone's cheering like, yeah, I'm ready to bid on Eirene. So, Christopher's there. He has his little bill in his hand. He has the debt in his hand. But before the auction starts, Christopher actually goes up to the dad and asks for Irene's hand in marriage. And may I say, this was not a 1-minute decision, because the way I'm explaining this, it seems like this was after one chapter, but this was at least after like the 10th chapter. So about a year or so. So yeah, like Eirene and Christopher did a lot. There was an incident in the barn where he kept rub it up on her. But I'm not going to go into detail about that because that is not that kind of podcast. Anyways, yes. But yeah. So Irene's like, what? I'm not getting married to you. The hell? Nah. No. You shot my brother. And plus, you just want me for the sex. Like, you haven't even told me you love me yet. The hell? He thinks I'm easy. No, I'd rather be sold off to a bunch of men. Sorry. Yeah, that's basically what's going through Irene's head right now. And so, Christopher's like, okay, well, I got the depths in my hand. When y'all are ready, start the auction. So the father starts the auction. He says, okay, $1,000. $1,000. The crowd goes silent. $1,000? Everyone start looking at each other like, her? $1,000? I could get a wench down at the bar for free, or maybe a scotch, but this one for $1,000? No. But then someone raises their hand and they're like, okay, $1,000. Irene look at him, she's like, oh my god, he's so crusty and old. Should have went with Christopher. I don't know what's wrong with her. Throughout this entire book, she rejects Christopher. But I understand. I mean, in the beginning, he keeps telling her, well, if we actually end up getting together, I'm probably going to kick you to the curb after I'm done having my way with you. And Christopher, okay, this isn't good advice. Well, it is good advice, but it's not advice I should be giving. But come on, Christopher. If you really want to get a girl, you don't tell her that after you have sex with her, you're just gonna kick her to the curb. The hell? But, honestly, I was thinking, damn, Christopher is better than some guys I know. Because they will not tell you. They will actually say, oh, I want to get married. Oh, let's do whatever and whatever. At least he was up front. At least he said it right to her face, okay? If we fuck, I ain't talking to you again. I'm not calling you, nothing. Like, thank you. Thank you for being honest, at least. Thank you for that courtesy. But Irene is not having it. She's from the 1900s. She don't know about that life where everybody is actually like that, where all the guys just want to fuck you. Yeah. Nope. Back then, they were all trying to get married and then fuck other people. Anyways, so, a motorcycle in the background. Well, thanks for putting that audio in my podcast. So, anyways, yeah, but the auction starts at $1,000. The dad says, do I hear 2,000? 2,000. No, you don't. There's silence. And then the father says, look at my daughter. Don't you see? Look at her right breast. Look at her beautiful face. You think she's just worth a measly $1,000? 1,005 cents, somebody says. And it was so funny. I was flipping out of my bed. Like, I couldn't believe it. But yeah. So then someone actually says $2,000 and the father's like, oh, I hear $2,000. Do I hear 3,000? 3,000? And someone says $2,500. Oh, $2,500. Do I really? And this just keeps going until someone who has not bid yet says $5,000. $5,000. So everyone is looking at this crazy man in the back saying that Irene is like, well, worth, that he's gonna give $5,000 for Irene. And the dad's like, sold to the man in the black hats, or whatever the hell that guy was wearing. And Irene's looking at the man, and she realizes he's the man who drove her home from Mr. Saxton's house. And the man informs them that he was not bidding for himself. He was, in fact, bidding for Mr. Saxton, his employer. Irene is just so caught off by this. But Christopher collects his money, puts the contract of the debt on the table, and he leaves. And Irene was actually hurt by it. But I'm just looking at Irene like, Irene, you can't be hurt. Come on. You say you didn't want him. Don't be hurt. Damn, Chrissy Pooh, if you was real, you could come in my arms any day. I will protect. I will hold hands with you 6 feet away. Okay, and by hold hands, I mean like I hold on to one end of the stick, you hold on to the other end of the stick, and we could walk in the park where there are no people because I'm not trying to catch corona. Thank you very much. Okay, but anyways, yes. So, Irene goes home with Mr. Saxton's driver or whatever. And then we see Mr. Saxton. I don't know where that accent came from, but I like it. Okay, now the accent is gone. So she goes home with She goes home with Mr. Saxton. And the father and the brother come. And what happens is she sees Mr. Saxton and he has a black bag over his face. And he has a peg leg or something on his leg. I don't really understand how they describe it, but the point is he drags his leg behind him. So their words, not... Okay, I'm just going to say he's disabled. He's disabled. And later on, we find out that he was actually in a house fire. Like, his whole body was torched when he was a kid. So now, like, she's getting married to a man with a bag over his head. A bag over his head. At first, when I heard he had a bag over his head, I thought he was a part of the KKK. I was like, no, please don't put racism in this book. I mean, there's one page where they talk about Indians, and I was just like, no, please, I can't read this book if there's racism, you know? I mean, obviously, because this is such an old book, and they're going to have all this racist crap in there. Why? Why must they ruin it for me with all this racist shit? Okay, but anyways, yes. What was it? Yeah, so he has a bag over his head. He's not a part of the KKK. It's actually a square box. So he's not a part of the KKK. And, I just said that word like 3 times. But anyways, so, yeah. Irene is obviously staring at this guy like, And where's Mr. Saxton? Please tell me you're another one of his servants. A butler, please. That's what I was thinking when I first read it too. Like, please, no. You can't be Mr. Saxton. It's Mr. Saxton. Now let's skip forward. The only thing I'm gonna say is that he gives the father the money. The father's mad because after he paid his debts, of course, he's still poor. And Irene and the Mr. Saxton have been going through a lot of trouble because he is her husband. But of course, she doesn't want to have sex with him. And he bought her because she's so beautiful. And he's saying like, oh, why do I have to have such a treacherous thing in my house? Like, such a beautiful and voluptuous woman, and I can't even touch her. And I bought her, and she's my wife. But he decides he's not going to do anything with her unless she consents. But here's the thing. Christopher keeps trying to get on to Eirene. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he keeps trying to get on to Eirene, man. Mr. Saxton, you better seal the deal. Christopher trying to steal her virginity. And may I add on top of that Christopher is actually Mr. Saxton's cousin. So, yeah, there's that. And so I'm going to describe one incident that explains like the last 5 chapters. Eirene is in a very revealing nightgown. And it's only revealing when she goes next to the fire. I am sorry for all this background noise. When she goes next to the fire. And when she goes into his room, she's next to fire. Well, light, whatever the fuck. So, Mr. Saxton is looking at her like, this girl don't know, she revealing everything. Mr. Saxton is looking up and down, but she can't tell because his head is behind a mask. And Eirene is like, shit, I could feel him staring at my boobs. And Mr. Saxton is like, Eirene, don't you understand? Irene's like, no, I understand what? Eirene had a terrified look on her face. What? Why are you coming closer? No! And then Mr. Saxton's like, you don't get it, do you? And Irene's like, nah, I don't know what you mean, Mr. Saxton. What? Get what? And then Mr. Saxton places his hand on her boob and leaves it there. And then they said that Eirene was standing there trying not to scream. I'm like, bruh, okay, if it's some random stranger on the street, sure, I'ma scream. But come on now, you known Mr. Saxton for like 5 months. He walks around all the time. You have to be used to it by now. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It's not like he really abducted her. He said she could leave if she wants to. Like, he is not keeping her captive at all. Really, I think she should leave and go be with Christopher because she technically keeps cheating on Mr. Saxton with Christopher this entire time. I mean, they haven't kissed yet until... Okay. First, let me describe the situation. So he has his hand on her boob and she's trying not to scream, but then he like tries to pull her in closer and then he runs away. No, not him. Eirene runs away. Mr. Saxton stares into the air for a moment and then they say that Eirene closes the door because they have separate rooms, may I add, and also their room is connected by a door, but it's separate. It's separate rooms. And then she could hear him laughing. Like, huh? Laughing. That's some real depression you have there, sir. You need a therapist, sir. All this money you have around your house and you did not buy a therapist? Oh my God. Oh my God. My God. What? Like, she rejected me. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. No, but really, what are you laughing about? Why are you laughing? Okay, but anyways, that's not the point. It's not the point. So, yeah. Irene's just like, well, that was terrible. That felt terrible. I did not enjoy that at all. And now, skip a few more pages. They're supposed to go to a ball. And it's her friend Claudia's ball, and Claudia is super into Christopher. And she's also a stuck up brat who's very rich. And Claudia's father keeps hitting on Eirene. But let's not get to that yet. So Claudia invites Eirene and her beast of a husband, like Claudia says beast, to her party or a ball or wherever the fuck she's throwing. And, well, he doesn't come. He says, no, I'm not going to go. Well, he says that at the very last moment, may I add. And then he says, I have someone else who's going to escort you. And he chooses Christopher. He chooses Christopher to escort her to the ball. And everyone at the ball is murmuring to each other, why? Who is this dumb fuck who said, oh, you should let Christopher escort my wife to the ball? The hell? Christopher, he feels up every girl in town, is basically what everyone at the ball is thinking. But Eirene is just thinking, ah, shit, I've been wanting Christopher's kiss for a while. Christopher's kiss, the fuck? That should be the name of a candy. Instead of Hershey's Kiss, Christopher Kiss. Oh my gosh, if there was a chocolate like actually named after movie stars, like some shit like some Korean member's kiss, yo, like V's kiss or Jungkook's kiss, oh, ooh, I would so buy that. No, even though it's a dumb, like I could just put Christopher in front of Kiss on the regular Hershey Kisses, but no, I'd spend the extra $31 for this one Jungkook kiss. Okay, but anyways. Yes, so Christopher, he's escorting her to the ball. She's like, you're not going to try anything, are you? And Christopher's like, oh, no, I'm not going to try anything. And we could skip all of that. The point is, on their way back to Mr. Saxton's home, by the way, Mr. Saxton is away at a trip, they almost fuck in the carriage ride. Like, someone has to drive the carriage. It's Mr. Saxton's employee driving the carriage. Like, what are you guys doing? Are you dumb? I mean, I get it. It kind of is the perfect disguise, if you know what I mean. If any movement or shaking is happening, you could blame it on the carriage. Like, oh, it's these blasted bumpy roads. Am I right, Eirene? Yeah, I hate these bumpy roads. No. Okay. But yeah. So, Eirene, yes, she is the worst. Eirene keeps saying shit like, oh, I just, if Christopher kisses me, I can't seem to reject him. Get a grip. Like, what are you doing? What are you, she's like, oh, I have a whole husband at home. Then act like it. Act like it. Why you keep going after Christopher? Well, I mean, she's not going after Christopher, but she's letting him come onto her, and she keeps saying shit like, oh, yeah, Christopher, do I like you? Ooh, don't know, gotta think about that one. Like, tell him up front. If you don't like him, you don't like him. Obviously, you do. Damn ass bitch. Like, you have a whole husband. He keeps telling her if she wants to go, she can. And she keeps saying, like, just leave. Why are you torturing poor Mr. Saxton? I mean, I know he bought you and everything, but really that was just to save you from your father, because he don't like your father. If you were to leave, you could leave. I swear she's just staying there because she really has nowhere else to go. She can't go back to her dad. Her brother doesn't have a separate place. She doesn't have any money. Where would she go? But anyways, yeah. I mean, she could go to Christopher. Yeah, that's what she should do. Go to Christopher. But yeah. So, yeah, they have sex. But I mean, no, they don't have sex. They almost had sex. Oh, trying to do a podcast here, background noise. They almost have sex, but then Christopher's like, oh, we're here. Like, we're here? What do you mean we're here? They're at Saxton Hall. That means all of that they did in the carriage was the same amount of time to get them to Saxton Hall. Like, my God. But yeah. So after that, she runs out the carriage like it really don't take two to tango. And she goes in the bed. She's like, stop, Christopher. Don't come after me. Don't you know if you touch me, I won't be able to stop you. Why? Don't you have hands? Do you not have a mind to think with? But anyways, yeah. No means no, okay? Well, anyways, that's the end of this podcast. I'd like to say thank you to all my viewers. You are all officially dumb bitches if you have reached the end of this podcast. Or really whatever the fuck this is. Because it's not really a I guess it's a podcast. I don't know. But yeah, subscribe, click that bell, and drop a like while you're at it. If you got this far in the video, type in I am truly a dumb bitch. Thank you. Goodbye.